This is the Zone Football League.
Welcome back to another episode of the Zone In podcast, where we talk everything Zone Football League across Newcastle. As always, I'm Mason, and today we're joined by special guests, boys from Medowie. Throw it over to you guys if you want to introduce yourselves.
Head coach Matt Morris.
Striker Alex Phillips.
And Rafa Diaz.
Good to have you in, guys. Look, straight off the bat, we'll talk about your win over Bellbird on the weekend just gone. 4-1 the result at Carmichael Oval, I think. Yeah, it was. Matt, yourself, you got on the score sheet. I'm sure a lot of boys will be looking at you thinking, how's the old dog still got legs in it? Any secrets to give away there?
Yeah, just get free kicks and take them. Not much to it.
So just more of a set-piece merchant kind of thing?
Yeah, that's all I try for.
Yeah. And Rafa, we won't talk about goals because I see that I'm not the only number 7 that's not scoring this year.
Scored one.
Yeah, one. And I'm in the same boat. I think I've only got 2 for myself. But someone joining us that has been scoring goals quite frequently at the moment is yourself, Alex. How's that been, scoring absolutely tons of goals for the club this year?
Oh, it's always good to score goals. I had a pretty rough start of the season. Was about 4 games in, still hadn't scored. So
yeah,
and then just found my rhythm.
Well, yeah, and that's it. As you say, if you didn't score in the first 4, the next 10 must have been. The next 6 must have been goals galore. Because after only 10 games, I think this so far this season, you've scored 14. It's a pretty good record.
Yeah, it's not bad. Couple hat tricks and scored 4 against Fletcher.
As well as the 14 goals that you've scored, as of this past week as well, you're also leading the best and fairest for the league with 15 points. Anything you're doing, any tips you can give other players to maybe get points, or how much you're paying the ref, or anything along those lines?
Oh, I think just scoring goals is obviously helping me.
Yeah.
Not really looking too much at best and fairest, see if I was leading it or not. But yeah.
Well, I think we can all agree that's probably a lie. Goes home first thing he checks.
It's definitely just because he's getting the
messaging the ref out of the game.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. But also another one of the boys in the squad, Campbell Reynolds as well, banging in goals, playing alongside you, I gather, up front. Yeah. He's got 11 goals in 7 games that he's played in first grade. Matt, as the head coach, what have you been teaching the boys, running through training and all that, to have 2 of your attackers so clinical in the league?
We haven't been trained, so we haven't done much. But it's just playing the ball around, hitting feet, and giving them the right opportunities. That's pretty much how we do it. So there's not much to it really. Once you get them in the right spot, they'll put them away. So. Yeah,
for sure. And Rafa, you being a midfielder yourself, can you take much credit for the boys scoring the goals? Are you the one putting it on a plate for them?
No, I think someone should track the assists this year, because they didn't last year, and I think they should have. I think they're important too. But honestly, these are 2 real good strikers, and going into the year, I think that's what we lacked last year. Maddie was that top goal scorer. He actually scored a lot of goals last year. But I think having that bit of pace in this level of competition is probably pretty crucial, and getting behind defenders. And Campbell is unbelievably fast, a really hungry player, and we've got Al, who's very skillful. So they sort of play off each other and have 2 really complementary skill sets to help them bag goals. And and they do pass it around to each other. It's not always head down. If I've got the ball in the box, I'm going for it. They do try and pass it across, and whoever's got the better chance is really good. And we have midfielders who are unselfish. We're not taking pot shots, and we're looking for them always, because we just know that we get them behind the defence, they'll probably get us a goal. So we know that, and it's all about winning games, not about individual glory.
Yeah, for sure. And look, I completely agree. Unfortunately this year the assists aren't being counted, but definitely we should be looking into that next year, because as you say, it's not shouldn't just be about the boys scoring the goals, but definitely the person pulling the strings behind them as well. And back to yourself, Alex, as well. Your legs must be burning at the moment, as we spoke before. It's only your first season in Zone League. But speaking of Matt as well, you're also playing in the Friday night team as well. So how often are you backing it up? Is it every weekend or are you chop and change?
Most weekends, but I guess it's helping at the moment. We're not training, so
yeah,
just been getting rained off. So.
Yeah. And what drives you to want to play in two different teams and really just like probably burn yourself out's not the right word because look, you look pretty young and fit, so it's probably not a bother for you. But yeah, what drives you to want to play for both teams?
Well, on Friday nights I get to enjoy it and have fun with my mates, and then Sundays are a bit more competitive.
Yeah, for sure. And Rafa, yourself were saying as well that you've been with the Medowie Zone League squad for 3 years now, and prior to that with Croatia. I guess question is, in that 4 years' time, how have you seen changes, developments and growth out of the league in itself?
Yeah, I didn't play for a long time. I lived overseas and I came back to Australia. I didn't played for like 12 years or something like that. And came back into Croatia was, they had a lot of really good players that, they had an ambition to go up, and that was actually a really good experience because I was just wanting to take it easy, really. And I thought Zone League were pretty easy, but they were big on fitness and got me really fit, and actually took me to a level I didn't think I'd get back to again, just being quite old. I'm in my late 30s now and hadn't played for so long, and that actually gave me a bit more hunger to want to perform at this level, because it is pretty decent. I honestly thought it'd be super easy, but it's actually pretty decent. So, and I like it. I actually really enjoy it, and I'm 39 now, going on 40, and I hope I can keep playing for a few more years because I'm having a lot of fun. I really like the boys at Medowie, a lot of young boys. A few of those old ones like Maddie and Dennis and my twin brother. But then we've got a lot of young boys, especially reserve grade. They're all 16, 17. Go to the pub, you got to buy them around with Cokes. And a bit weird. And then we've got Al, who's 18, Jackie's just turned, I think, 19 or 18. And I think that's kind of nice too, with the young boys sort of helping them and being a bit, giving them a bit more experience on the pitch and trying to understand a bit more football IQ. It's obviously very technically, exquisite player is really good, but football IQ, that just comes with age and game time, especially playing against men, and the speed, because that's really different from coming in your own age group going into men. I remember that transition being really hard myself. So I really like the balance. Clubs, I love Maddie, the coach, and everyone else who helps. Eb's great help there at the club, and they really put a lot of effort into the boys. Unpaid volunteer work, and we just get to rock up and have fun. We're pretty fortunate. Yeah,
for sure. And you touched on as well your brother, who I probably should have realised is twin. You just look way too close alike to not be twins. How's that been? Was he with you at Croatia as well, and you both went then together to Medowie?
We both moved back to Australia at the same time, and we played our younger years here in Australia, left when we were 17 to play overseas, and then separated at 17, 18, hadn't played together. Then we both moved back to Australia during COVID, and then of course we're going to play together. It's good and bad, but yeah, I think, I've played with them my whole life as kids, and being twins, you sort of have a really good understanding of, where you want it, how you want it, you don't really have to talk, and it's great.
So outlining then, what are the goods and the bads of playing with your twin brother?
Well, he's my little twin brother, so I'm 2 minutes older. So
the oldest one always plays.
It's, if he's on the pitch and someone's done a hard challenge on him, I want to go back him up. Yeah, I want to back him up. It's just sort of inside me. It says, well, even though he can handle himself, but I know stuff like that. So we sort of feed off each other too.
And then we'll start talking Spanish to us.
And then, but the good is, we grew up as playing similar footballers. As he's got older, he moved into defence, but we're always midfielders together. And it's just, we understand how we play, we understand how we want the ball, understand where we want it, understand, when I look at you, if I want it to my feet or to the side or something like that. So I don't really have to talk to him. He sort of just knows. It's good.
Well, I can say, playing against you now, this for the second year in the competition against one another, it's definitely quite terrifying when you get caught in the glare between the two of you. I'm just standing in the middle and you both give each other that look, and I'm like, oh God, what are they about to do? It's this unspoken link up. Yeah. And then Matt, having the boys now at Medowie for 3 years, How much Spanish have you learnt?
Literally none. But the boys are brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant. They do so much to help us out. Like, there's a lot of things they do just to help the boys out. Bringing blokes over. Just the commitment from them is unbelievable. They're driving from Cooks Hill to Medowie for training, games, everything. It's unreal. It's good commitment. It shows the young ones what you should do, and that's what we're sort of trying to build there. So yeah, keep them up. Like, keep them boys for a couple of years if they want to stay around. Maybe get them coaching as well, and you never know. Could have a good few coaches there as well.
Yeah, and as being one of the young boys, Alex, how is it having both Raf and Gabe part of the team and being able to play with them? Is it obviously Raf being the captain, but just having those senior figures in the squad, what's their leadership like, and maybe some of the other guys as well? How does that make you feel? Was it intimidating to come into the squad seeing these older guys, more senior guys, and looking up to them, or was it more of like an embrace and a comfort knowing that they'd be like nurturing you into it?
Yeah, no, I was pretty comfortable coming into Medowie. Like, all the older boys are just like heaps good leaders. Just brought us straight in and just helped us out.
And was that something that you probably instilled in the squad, Matt? Whether it's from the reserve grade through to the first grade, just as a squad as a whole, and not just in that sense of youth and experience, but what's the squad mentality that you are trying to instill up there at Medowie? Sorry.
It's just all one squad, so it's instilling just that we want them all to work together, build together, we go to the pub together, just trying to keep it as one big family type thing. And it's the best way to keep everyone together, like make it a good environment. They're going to want to come back. Like, you got a shitty environment, they're going to want to come back. If you're just worried about first grade only, what are for the boys below, sort of thing. So, like, I think we're creating a pretty good scenery in that. So we keep going the way we are. Like, we've grown this year a lot bigger than we thought. Like, I thought I was only going to have around that 30, 31 blokes, and I've got 45. So I've created a Friday night team because of it. So, like, it's looking up. So yeah, we can keep that mentality going and keep the boys happy, keep them all striving to improve, all that sort of stuff. It's only going to look better for us in the future, and yeah, bigger things to come hopefully.
Yeah, and with Medowie itself, the area growing and developing as a whole, as a region, you'd obviously see more positives in that than negatives, but does that worry you as well that maybe you might start losing some players to neighbouring clubs like Nelson Bay, Raymond Terrace and such, if the club itself is growing too big for maybe that family aspect, like in case that family aspect is then lost?
We always lose players here and there. There's always situations they want to go play with mates at other clubs because they all go to school together.
Yeah.
So, like, the blokes from Nelson Bay come to Medowie for school. There's blokes from Medowie go to Raymond Terrace, go to Nelson Bay. Stockton, the same thing. So they're always going to change, but it's just trying to make it so there's something there for them if they want to stay. And then trying to build on that, like trying to get them to talk to their mates and go, I prefer to play at Medowie rather than play at Stockton and Nelson Bay. We don't have to drive as far. Like little things like that. Like.
So you're offering finder's fees for that, or no?
Maybe one day if we can get the club involved. You never know. But no, it's just it's a slow build. It's not going to happen overnight. But like we've got good juniors in the club, so we've got something for them to look forward to. Then we're going to keep kids. Like at the moment, there's that many kids playing in town. Alex was one of them. They've all played at high level in town, and we're creating an environment for them to come back to and hopefully build us up to that level. So.
Well, I wanted to touch on that as well. Yourself being a big clubman for Medowie, involved in all different intricacies of the club. But we touched on in the podcast last week about community state champs, Newcastle Football's side of things, running that. You're also involved in coaching the under-13s boys. And our team post went up for Newcastle Football's state champs teams last week. And it was quite apparent how well Medowie, obviously, their juniors are doing, because majority of those teams were made up of Medowie juniors. So I'm sure from a club, broader club point of view, you guys must be pretty proud of that, and yourself especially sounding like you've had a bit of a hand in that as well.
Yeah, 100%. Like it's good to see that we've got these kids coming through, and it all comes down to that, like getting the right coaches, getting the right people involved, and having that environment for them as well. Like if you've got it starting high, it's going to filter through. So, and that's what I've been trying to do for the last few years I've been there. Like been there for, well, I was involved almost my whole life. So I've come back. I was one of those kids that left and went and played in town, and then eventually came back. So just trying to instill that drive, that passion, and something for those kids to strive for. And I, like with the state cup, it's unreal that we've got it's not a huge club. Like it's getting bigger, but it's one of those clubs that's out of town that's got some good talent there. That they're willing to stay around and not chase the big football in town, but are still good enough to probably compete with a lot of them kids. So it's good that we've got that going on there, and it's good that they're all staying and wanting to play together at that level. So, yeah.
And for you, Raf, hearing that and seeing how the club's developing and that, obviously, hopefully not too soon, but there will come a time where you may have to hang the boots up. And Matt touched on it as well, maybe keeping you around and some of the other older boys to coach. Is that something that you would be interested in, and especially at Medowie, seeing the way that the youth's developing at the club?
Yeah, like possibly. I have 3 kids of my own, so like they play soccer too, and as they get older, there might be opportunities for me. I just can't do it at the moment because of my weekends, because I still play and train and play during the midweek with over 35s. Like my soccer schedule's pretty full to start coaching now. But once I start playing less, like absolutely.
Yeah.
If there's opportunities wherever, and I'm there to help out Matty anytime he wants. I do enjoy coaching and helping people out, or just helping people out in general. And so Medowie, it's going to grow as a club. Like the area's growing. It's got a Coles, it's got a Woolies, it's got a Macca's, it's got a KFC.
You never thought they'd ever have that.
Yeah. So
what about an Aldi? Not an Aldi. You're not there yet,
That's
unfortunately.
So it's like it's a growing suburb, and obviously like it's pretty high socio-economic, and the facilities are good, and they've got a good junior base. Club's got great facilities. Field, the actual pitch needs a bit of work. But as far as facilities, they're top notch, and I guess everyone will see it on Bar TV this coming weekend. It's actually like a great setup they got there at Yulong, and they've got a lot of juniors. They've got 3 fields. They've got the capacity to build. Obviously, they have ambition, but also Matt has ambition, especially to take the club forward. We've got promotion relegation now. We start going higher up. If they do, obviously that's going to keep talent there, attract talent from neighbouring areas. Raymond Terrace is a big area that don't have a club right now in this sort of level of zone league. And then people from Nelson Bay or wherever, or from Port Stephens want to come down closer to town. There are options for them too. So it's all positives there. And as I get older, I'll probably stay around football. If that's coaching, great. If that's Medowie, fantastic. If somewhere else.
Just wanted to take a minute to thank all of our great sponsors of the Zone In podcast. We have Deploy Football, the leading developers and manufacturers of performance sporting solutions, not only just including our awesome balls, and also sportswear with all of our grassroots clubs in helping them design and produce amazing apparel. One of our other major sponsors, Solved Marketing. If you want your problems solved are the ones to go with. Helping businesses, brands solve complex challenges with ingenuity and creative solutions. Solved Marketing is our go-to agency for all of our marketing needs, and we cannot recommend them enough. And finally, Harry Schnitzel Joint. You guys know every week, Man of the Match is presented with the Harry Schnitzel Award. Definitely go check Harry Schnitzel out. And we know that all the Man of the Match recipients have been so excited to get their Harry Schnitzel Man of the Match Award and get down to Harry Schnitzel Joint.
Yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, speaking of the development of the club, and then we're looking at the Zone League then, the club being involved in Zone League for a handful of years now. The results haven't been too flattering over the years. When you look back at it, There's a couple fifths. There was an 8th in 2023, and then last year's season, a bit of an unfortunate one, coming 10th. I'm sure everyone part of the squad would have believed you could have finished a little higher last year. How has that result and finish to last year's season kicked off this year's pre-season for yourself as a coach, and just how the squad's started this season as well? Now being halfway through, almost officially, we've all almost caught up on our washout games. But yeah, how's that maybe disappointing result for the club spurred you on for this season?
Oh, it was definitely disappointing. Like, we had a good squad. We had a lot of injuries last year. It was hard to keep players on the field. Last year was one of them years. I think we never had the same starting lineups at all for all year. So it was one of them years that we sort of, you look back at it, it's like, we've got to try something different. And we didn't really try much different pre-season. I was away for 2 months, so our pre-season was actually quite short this year. But a couple of the the boys got a few of their mates to come back, which is like Alex and Jack come back, and then there was a few other I brought through my under-16s from last year. They're the A-grade side with Medowie. So we brought through some good young kids to help bolster the squad. And then we've had more blokes come back. So we sort of had just a sort of influx of players wanting to sort of move back to the area and play close to home, and the young ones come through, which has sort of helped sort of give us a bit more of a base. We've got a bit more depth now. So if we lose a player, we've got someone that can sort of fit in, and the results haven't been great so far this year. We've had a couple of games where we've missed a few sitters and things like that, and we've dominated games. We haven't been able to score, but it's just come down to just little moments sort of thing. But other than that, like, it's been a good season so far. We're sitting 4th or something at the moment, and we've started scoring goals now. So everything's starting to come into play. So once we get through this busy period we've had, where we've got an influx of games, we should be starting to sit pretty. Everyone's getting like a bit niggly, but we'll hopefully get past them, and everyone will be in shape and kick on with the season from there.
Yep, and as you say, coming 4th currently. Obviously, seasons aren't finished in June, but yeah, 5 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses. Much better looking for now compared to last year. How do you, well, I'll ask all 3 of you down the line, how do you think this season as a whole in Zone 3 is going? Because when you look at the results and the table, you can't really go into any game expecting what the outcome's going to be. It's shown.
100%. You can't expect to beat someone this year. All the teams are good. Like, they all compete against each other. Like, we've had games where we probably should have won. We end up with draws, and vice versa. Like, the teams who played us and probably thought they should have won, and things like that. So it's that tight. It's a very tight competition. Like, I know Greta have pulled away. They got a good run. But the other clubs below, we're all tight. Like, there's only a few points between everyone. You win one, you jump 3 spots. Lose one, you drop back down 3 spots. So it's a good tight comp, and that's right. Any team can beat any team on the day. So yeah, it's good. It's good to have.
For sure. And Alex, going into all these games, younger, fresher, fiercer mindset maybe. How have you been preparing for all of these games? As Matt said, none of the games surely you can go into this season thinking that it's a sure win.
No, definitely not. You just got to take every game as a new game, and mindset is just playing good and winning. Just got to go straight into it.
Yep, and Rafa then leading them out as captain. How do you prepare the boys? And as we're saying, there's midweeks, there's injuries, there's all these different changing aspects of it. How have you set up the squad from a leadership point of view, just to get them out and get the best results you can every game?
Yeah, like, to lead by example. Like, as we touched on one of the older fellas, I try and stay in the park 90 minutes each game. I rarely miss a game. Like, and I'm often pretty injured. But lidocaine cream is really, really helpful. Getting a shot during the week's really helpful. To get you through, and that leadership, like, it's a contact sport. Like, we've got niggles. It's busy schedule right now. The pitches aren't going to be great. They're going to be hard. They're going to be muddy. I can get through it. You can get through it. I'm twice your age. You can get through it. And being strong and tough and physical out there, especially because if you're not, the other person is going to be more so, and you're going to come off second best. So I think that's sort of instilling that and trying to lead by example from that point of view as well. And then trying to cut out my back chat to the refs, so the other players don't feed off that and get yellow cards. So I'm doing a pretty good job.
I didn't think he was trying to cut off on it.
Maybe just a little quieter this year, just behind the
He
hand.
speaks up to the ref and doesn't do it too loud.
Yeah. And then I guess we've spoken about the front end of the season. Now we're into the second cycle of the season, the run to the finals, I guess now. Is there anything that you've looked at that maybe needs to change, whether like you've got the obvious, we'd love to have less injuries, we'd love to have a stricter schedule and stuff like that, but anything just team-wise and tactically that you're trying to really drill in for the rest of the season?
I can't give away too much.
Not give away the secrets, but...
No, it's just keeping everyone on the park. Fatigue management, all that sort of stuff is the main thing. Like, our boys have been smashed with games, so it's just trying to maintain them, and then just concentrate on the game, but how we want to play. Play football, like just knock around, play football. Just concentrate on the formation, shape we want to play, all that sort of stuff, and it'll all come to play. Like it has most games, it's been there. It's just that little final third stuff that's let us down a bit. So we haven't trained. So we haven't trained for 5 weeks. So once we can get on the field and train, it'll be good to do that. But with the influx of games, all that, we haven't been able to work on much. So, but after this week, we'll hopefully be able to get on the field and do some training.
Yeah, and we had a short pre-season, so we sort of came into the first 3 or 4 games not settled on our starting 11.
We were underdone.
And what our positions were and stuff like that. And we had a lot of unavailability during pre-season as well. I think half the team plays cricket. I don't know why, but they do. And so they were unavailable, and it was just. I felt like we spent the first 4 or 5 weeks just trying to figure out what we are as a team. And we started getting that balance, and then all the rain hit, and we just haven't trained since. And I think get back to the training pitch, work in our shape. I think we're going to be much better for it, rather than just trying to figure it out during game time. And I think we've got a bit of confidence now. We had a lot of confidence going into the season. And then a few injuries here and there, but we're getting people back, and I think confidence building for us, and knowing that we have a shot at this, and I don't have many left in me, so I want to make every season count. Trying to make sure this one counts. Well, this one to count. So each season I want them to count. So last year was a write-off, unfortunately. The year before that we had one of the better teams I've seen on paper, and we just lost everyone, and and then last year was a write-off again. And so this year, people are staying on the park more. We've still got a few injuries, but staying on the park more, and that's the same for everyone. We're not unique. But confidence is building. We're getting players back. Confidence is building, and we'll start getting some rest between weeks, which will be important.
Yeah, of course. And were you one of the cricket players that he was referring to?
No, I don't play cricket.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. That kind of haircut was probably a giveaway. But so then, talking long term, but now narrowing in on over this next week. Now you've got a midweek game against Garden Suburb, who are 2 spots behind, and then on the weekend against Merriweather, who's just on the tail as well. Those are 2 pretty big games in terms of the season for you guys, and positionally, with the three teams all being together.
The 3 100%. Like 3 teams all fighting for the same spot at the moment, pretty much. Like all fighting for finals positions. Very tough week. So, big one for us is just concentrate on making sure we've got we've got them available and look after them. Like we're doing some recoveries after the games tomorrow, that sort of stuff. So we get ready for the weekend as well. But big hard games. There always are hard games. Always Garden Suburbs, Merriweather, always tough games. Usually end a pretty close, tight scoring game. So, hopefully we can get up and on both of them, but we'll see how we go. So both teams, they'll be in the same boat with us. It'll be thinking the same way. So
Yeah, and for you boys being out in the park, do these 2 tough games within a week, does that make you nervous, bit of excitement, pressure, any sorts of that?
No, I would say, like, for me, not personally nervous, but like I'm, you know, they're real. I understand how important they are. As far as, you know, if we want to make finals footy at the end of the year, like, these games are going to count. These are 6-point games essentially. Like, if we drop 3, they get 3. That's 6-point swing, and the same vice versa. So these are really important. And, you know, Garden Suburb, Barnsley, Merewether, you guys on the weekend, Charlestown, you know, Southern Lakes, they're all 6-point games for everyone. And so I think that adds to the excitement, adds to the intensity of the match. I think, you know, we prefer intense matches rather than, you know, ones where you're just lollygagging around. So that's exciting for people who are competitive. I'm a competitive guy. I know Alex is, and Maddie is too. So, so it's great. I'm looking forward to it. You know, I'd rather, you know, go into a tight game, win 1-0 than go into a game knowing I'm going to win 8-1. So much rather that.
Yeah, and Alex, for you?
Yeah, I think the fact that the table's so close, these next games are pretty much just got to go in must win. Got to really got to win.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if you guys know, but I do actually play for Merewether United.
I didn't think I'd seen you.
I know, I've been keeping it under wraps for a lot from the podcast. But yeah, definitely, it's these games, as you're saying, so tight, almost means more than trying to knock the boys off the top spot, because they're not really a competition until finals. Realistically, it's the ones in those final spots that are definitely the ones you're keeping your eyes on. So yeah, obviously Suburbs would be the same, and Merewether thinking the same as well then, which leads us into the game on Sunday at Geelong Oval, Medowie versus Merewether for the Bar TV match of the round. Also your Old Boys Day, I believe, so should be a good spectacle for that. What's the atmosphere and the talk around the club and around the squad about this game specifically, running out there for the Old Boys and putting on a show, but obviously also wanting to get those 3 points?
Oh, it's a big build for us. Like, bringing back the Old Boys, we brought it back a couple of years ago, and it's just building that culture. That's what it's about. Like, if you start with just bring it back slowly, getting the Old Boys back around, you're going to help those young ones. And for big tough games, it's a good incentive to have a bit of crowd, get your home crowd behind you, giving the away team a bit of stick, and hopefully boosting your boys to get up for the game. So yeah, it's a big. It should hopefully be a big day. We've got a few things happening. We've got a lot of juniors playing before us because they've got catch-up games obviously and that. So it's going to be a big day of football. We've got some kids playing some mini-roos games at half-time at first grade. Got a little Old Boys game at the start of the day for it as well. So trying to make a day of it and get everyone involved. So it should be a good day. Hopefully the sun stays out for us. I've seen the forecast of it today and it doesn't look pretty, but fingers crossed it stays away. So
yeah, look, we try not to say the R word around here.
That's why I said
it's banned. But yeah, no, it sounds great, and I'm sure for you boys as well. We've said this to some of the other clubs and players that have come in, but I'm sure every game you put the jersey on is one to represent the club, but this one then not only representing the club but representing and respecting the Old Boys that are watching. What does it mean for you guys? And I guess once again different perspectives. Being a more experienced person, you would have had many games where you've played Old Boys, and then for yourself, Alex, maybe being first or second only time you've played in an Old Boys game. How's that feel? Or how does that make you feel? And what do you think the difference will be running out for this game on Sunday compared to just a normal game?
There's going to be way more people than usual, I'm guessing.
You want to hope so.
Yeah, you've got to impress the Old Boys, so
yeah,
you've got to perform for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I quite like it. Like, I remember, you know, when I was younger and coming through, our Old Boys were always scheduled against like the easy teams to guarantee a win in front of the crowd. But I like how we've got competitive teams. The last few years I've been there, it's always against a competitive side. And I think that adds more way more to it, because knowing it's a must-win game, knowing you got to be dialed in, and you're going to have the crowd behind you, which is gives us a bit of a 12th man, which is important in these games. They're really important. And we had a close game against Merriweather in the last one. It was back and forth. I think 3 lead changes, and we're expecting the same again. So if they can get behind us and help us get the win, then it's amazing. And do it in front of them and make it even more special.
Yeah, and speaking to your wife, Ebony, Matt, when she was organising with Zone Football for this game to be the match of the round, I think it was coincidence that it was against us, but seeming to be a bit of a tradition now, 2 years in a row.
That's right.
I know for us, we're definitely up for the challenge and excited. Unfortunately, we may have to just come and ruin the party the second year in a row. But yeah, as you say, Raf, there are clubs that definitely do choose the easier teams, easier games for their old boys' day. And look, that's fine, but I tend to agree. I definitely think that there's more benefit of winning an old boys game against a tough opponent in a tough game than just a bit of a walkover. And from my perspective, it's almost out of respect for those old boys. And old boy yourself, Matt, how does that make you feel?
When you come away with a win, it's unreal. We were unlucky last year, but that was our season last year. We were unlucky a lot. But yeah, we're building something. So hopefully we get the win this weekend, and then I'll be chuffed to get up on Old Boys Day. I played for Medowie back when they were in the new FM division. So I am one of them old boys, and yeah, so it'd be awesome to see the boys get up, definitely.
Yeah, and I'm sure win, loss or draw, you'll be back to is it Bull and Bush?
Yeah. Back to the Bull and Bush afterwards for sure, definitely.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's a Sunday. I'm sure a lot of the boys have work on Monday, but maybe if it is a win, a couple of old boys back there and a few sickies on Monday then.
It might be a long weekend.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, so I'll remind everyone again, Sunday the 29th of June, 2:30 kickoff at Geelong Oval. Medowie versus Merriweather is the match of the round. I'm sure if you don't already know, Alex, the man of the match gets a Harry Schnitzel voucher. So
That's incentive.
not sure where the closest one of those is to Medowie, but I'm sure you'll find your way there for sure if you win it.
Definitely will.
We'll have a chat to Harry James and get one open up there shortly.
The way Medowie's growing could be the next thing.
Good thing.
But no, boys, it's been great to have you on. Unless there's anything else you want to bring up. No,
good.
All good.
Thanks for having us.
Well, I would say good luck for the weekend, but I don't mean it. So no, it's been great to have you on.
Thanks, mate.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
This is the Zone Football League.